Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I have another speed build for you of a starter home series that I'm doing, and this one is in Oasis Springs. I had the idea that I wanted something very modern and boxy and with a lot of glass because I think that works quite well for the desert area of Oasis Springs, and this was done on a lot with the sand coloured kind of surrounding rather than some lots in Oasis Springs which have grass. So I thought I'd go for something modern, maybe like a beach house looking thing. It didn't really turn out how I wanted it to, but that's also probably because this was using just base game. So the rules of my start home series are that I'm going to make a different start home in each world. It has to follow the same sort of style that the world has, and it can only use the base game and the pack that it comes with. So any base game worlds like Oasis Springs can only be base game. And that gives me a lot more troubles and heartache, and therefore it probably isn't my best build, but I did really enjoy doing it, though it was probably one of the most frustrating ones that I've done recently. That was because of the limited packs, it definitely didn't help, but also just I've been really trying to work in some colour into my builds. I spoke of this in my speed build on Friday last week, and I have been trying so much. I can't remember when I built this one. I think it might have been at the start of January. It was quite a while ago now. So it was kind of one of my first uses of colour because, as you can see, I'm putting down all of this filler furniture. I don't think I actually changed much of it, but it's all really quite white, and I had a trouble getting together the floor plan and where I wanted to go with it and how I wanted to make this box look work. From where I started in this part of the video to where I end up, I think I'm quite pleased with, though I hope that in time I can build this modern style better. It's really not my forte. I like a lot of browns and greys and beiges and this white kind modern with a few splashes of colour, and boxes and flat roofs especially are not what I love. So I was getting down the floor plan now, and I decided that the small room was going to be a nursery, and then you've got one master bedroom, and I had an issue because of the overhang of the two boxes. There was like a one tile that I couldn't fill because I couldn't put the stairs flush against the wall, so then I decided to make that a separate toilet and then have a space for the shower, and that all kind of worked in the end. But I was just getting together this really, really tiny nursery, and I've been doing a lot of small nurseries at the moment, and I really just want some space to really go ham with all the clutter and things and make it a really cute baby space. You obviously can't do that in a starter home, but maybe I'll make a really family-friendly house at some point soon. I was then trying to get the colour that I wanted to bring a bit of life to it through wall colours. So I put tiles in the kitchen area. I thought that worked quite well to give the place a little bit of texture. And then I love this green at the moment. Out of the plain colours that we have, I think it's the most versatile and the one that you can use the most. It works with greys and beiges. I've been using that a lot in my houses. One that I'm making right now on Twitch is kind of going with that green style as well. It's, as I say, one of the easiest because I don't want to go down that whole pink route. There are some nice pinks and purples for wall swatches, but I would just feel like that's too girly and maybe not what I want to be portraying in my builds. So I go for the more neutral colours, and yeah, that green swatch I really like at the moment. It's the perfect type of muted colour, but also bringing in something to give it a bit of interest. And this was me trying to do the outside. I think this was the first few moments. I then managed to cut out so much of this sped up footage. This is done at, I think, 800 times speed. It might be 700. And I cut out, I think, about 10 minutes of the build. So the sped up footage, because I did this in one stream, almost one stream, was 20 minutes, and it's now an 8-minute video because there was so much faffing about the roof and about the colour swatches and about everything about the outside. I just could not get it right. For probably about 45 minutes, it took me starting again, trying different colours. I kind of decided very quickly I wanted this panelled look. I thought that worked well with the plaster white. And then I was deciding whether I wanted columns. The base game columns really weren't working for me, so I went for walls. That then had a huge issue with the amount of funds I had for a starter home, because you don't get that much. I mean, I was kind of working on the assumption that I'd just do it for one person starter, which is 20,000 simoleons with a use of 18,000 because you have to pay for the lot. Once I got what I wanted and I had all these walls in, that completely mucked my budget. So I said, because I had a nursery in there, that this house was going to be made for 3 sims, and then you get 26,000 simoleons, so 24,000 to use. So that's kind of where the budget went. It's a little bit of a cheat, but it works in my head, and that's all that matters. So I started to decide that I wanted these half walls, and I thought they started to work really nicely, and I liked this L shape, or backwards L, to bring in that overhang, and it meant I could take out all of the different columns that I had in there, which I really wasn't liking. And I got to this red and this beige and the white, and I really liked that, but the issue that I had was knowing which walls to put each on. And then another part of the footage that was completely cut out was me trying to get it's not spandrels, but the bit in between the two floors that juts out slightly, to get that the right colour. That took forever because it was auto-filling and placing, and it was really frustrating. But we got there, and it looks all clean on the outside now. And then I just went back in, and I mean, my Twitch chat were really helpful because I was really freaking out and having a huge breakdown with what to do on the outside. And one of them said, just leave it and come back to it. And just them saying that was like, no, I'm not going to. I'm going to sort this. And I sorted it, and that was kind of where it all came back together. And then I went back onto the inside and gave it a few more flurries, because by that point I had decided that I needed more money. And so we now, at this point, had about 4,000 simoleons to work with. And then I looked at the floor plan and I thought to myself, I have given myself 2 bathrooms. And if you've ever tried to build a starter home, the one thing you do not have funds for is 2 bathrooms. So that's where this fireplace section came in, because I managed to get rid of those walls, and I put a outside cubby for the bin, which worked quite nicely. This fireplace, I'm not sure it really goes with the vibe, but we did only have base game. I would have probably used I think it's not Snowy Escape, Get Together fireplace that I really like, that's really good for modern homes, if I'd had the use of more packs, but this is what we've got. And then the build was pretty much done on the inside. I then completely forgot to film myself. After stream, I went in and did all the landscaping, and this is the finished product that we ended up with. So I incorporated it into Oasis Springs with the cactus, which I never ever use in my builds. But I hope you liked this video. If you did, please comment down below, like it, and subscribe to my channel for more, and I will see you all next time.